to the class.
Hello, how are you? My lighting's a little weird today, but it's because I waited too late in the day to do this without daylight. So, sorry, not sorry. Welcome to the Divinely You podcast, as well as Sarah Divinely You on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. I just appreciate the space and I'm thankful and all of that. And so, a couple of things that popped up in my inbox this week. Sometimes I usually take my content from whatever pops up in my inbox or comes up in a conversation or whatever. And so this week, a couple of things that popped up with regard today is about accessibility. And before I get into accessibility, rabbit, today is March 1. I'm going to talk a lot more about March tomorrow on my intro to me video, but I think what I will say right now is I don't recognize the person that's walking into March right now, so I'm sort of a little bit rolling with it. So there'll be a video tomorrow to talk about all of that. Let me share my screen.
Audio stop video security. Participants open check share screen.
There we go.
Desktop 11 sharing screen in iPhone iPad keynote AX3B1 item selected share keynote Apple you have started
Okay.
Share toolbar window zoom.us keynote AX3B window slides 6
Okay.
slideshow.
So a couple things that popped up this week. I remember doing the slide when Thanksgiving rolled around because I still have that plate picture on here, but whatever, y'all are gonna roll with it with me. Which means I've talked about image descriptions before, but I wanted to specifically talk about it in the context of GIFs and memes and stickers and things like that. So memes are very often lost on me. Some of them are not. It just depends on like how familiar I am with the content or, but sometimes the text is too small and I can't read it and I can't make sense of the picture or whatever. GIFs, as in GIF, GIFs, are very lost on me. Most of them are pop culture and most of them are like just in a moving image. There's no text to read or anything like that. Same with stickers. Stickers are pretty lost on me. Now, emojis are different because emojis are built in, they're a keyboard. It's built into the operating system, whether it's Android or Apple, they're built into the operating system. Thus, they're readable images designed that way. But if you use like a sticker, let's just say, for example, what comes to mind is like if you're replying on Facebook and you use a sticker to say haha or to express joy or excitement or whatever, those just come out to the screen reader like image or something, or like nothing. So be mindful if you are replying to a blind Facebook friend, if they're using voiceover. And even for me, like I can't always see the details of them. Sometimes I can. Other times, again, it's kind of like GIFs, like they're pop culture. So I don't always know whatever show or movie you're talking about, simply because I don't watch the crap. So GIFs are a thing. Memes often have like pop culture references. Like I said, sometimes they have such small text, but again, memes also for a blind person using a screen reader, memes are an image. And so I'll just move on to this next slide. There we go. File types, because this is kind of more important here, is file types. So when we talk about image files, versus like a text file, for example, any image file has coding behind it designed to make it an image file, whereas a text file, it has coding to make it a text file. So even if you have an image of text, it's still an image file according to the elves and gnomes behind the computer. Okay. I love saying that. My graduate professor used to say the elves and gnomes, and it's just stuck with me this whole time. Anyway, I digress. So let's just say you have a PDF file. Okay, PDFs are tricky because you can export a Canva file that you've put text in. You then export it to a PDF, or if you scan a picture of text, you're still sending a picture of text to PDF. So even if it has text in it, it's not readable that way because it's a picture. Okay. I'm being super specific and I might sound like I'm talking down to some people, but you'd be surprised how many people don't understand this. They're like, oh, but it has text on it. Well, yes, it does, but it's coded as an image file. It's coded as a picture. So even if it has text on it, it's still coded as an image or a picture file. Okay, so that's why PDFs get tricky, because a lot of people don't scan to optical character recognition, OCR. They scan as an image and then they export that image to PDF, right? And the same goes through with Canva. Canva are image files, right? You can export those directly to your photos or whatever. You can also export those as PDF, but they are still an image file. It's still a picture. It's not text. If you export a Word document, a Pages document, a text edit document, notes document to PDF, those are text files. Those are coded as text files. Okay. So it's all in the coding before it even becomes an exported PDF file. I don't know how good Windows has screen readers. There's a few of them. One of them is built in and the rest of them are not. I don't know how good those are at reading PDFs. VoiceOver on the Apple or on the Mac does read them, but again, only if they're text converted to PDF, not if they are image converted to PDF. So it can get tricky. So what happened with the person who messaged me about a PDF was ultimately they dumped the file into Google Docs and then used accessibility features within Google Docs to have the file be read to her. So that worked out. That was pretty gnarly. I actually learned something there because I actually have to learn how to use Google Docs for my editing process of my book. So So if we're talking about memes are images. There's text on them, but they're images. If we're talking about GIFs are like moving image files. Even if there's text on them, the screen reader doesn't get that. Stickers are, I don't even know if they come up as images or not. I'm not quite sure what those come up as. But like, for the last 2 years or so, we've been using, image files, memes to convey information. And I even caught myself yesterday, like seeing a bunch of images, like, what is this? And like, people didn't know. And I'm like, okay, then I guess it's not that important that I find out. So anyway, so that's the deal with images, with memes, with GIFs, with stickers and all of that. Unfortunately, they're lost on a lot of blind and low vision people because they're just not described, or they're not, they're just not, there's nothing that the screen reader can pick up on. And then there's, of course, like I said before, me who doesn't know pop culture for crap. So therefore, even if you said like, it's the dude from The Office, I'm like, okay, what's The Office? No, I know what The Office is, but I wouldn't get a reference from that show. So there's that. So what else can I talk about with regards to this? Well, as I would always say, if you are using text or if you're using image files to convey information, have a text version of the file from a document or from a Pages file prepared in case someone needs support. And then, as always, have that support.
Slide 8, what you can do now.
Have that support and feedback available for any customers or any clients that may need it. I have had instances where I'm participating in a conference where I've needed to contact their support person directly and be like, what? Can you just convert it into a Word document and send me the Word document? And then I can convert it from there. And so no doubt there's a level of responsibility for the end user. Like, in my opinion, there's always a responsibility on my part to work with companies, to work with service providers, to get what I need, to be able to say to them, without being pissed off or whatever, like be able to come to them and be like, hey, can you just convert this into a text or a Word document? Usually their support person is going to know what that means and be able to make that conversion happen and then ship me the email with that document. Sometimes Google Docs is the answer. But again, I'll be honest, I am not the best at working with Google Docs. Again, it's something that I obviously need to learn so I can get my book published. And also like knowing what I can do on my end, right? Like even if someone says Word document, I have to know that a Word document is going to come to me a little bit wonky because I use Pages. I don't use Word. So there's that part of it too. But so there is always, in my opinion, a responsibility on the end user to help companies out, to help out the support person or people to make it happen. Sometimes it's as easy as just asking questions. Other times it's like, no, you actually need the file and need the document in order to get, the information that you need. So, and then just like I said before, you can always just book my presentation. It's about 90 minutes, including Q&A. You can have your team, educate your team on various forms of blindness and low vision, as well as various tech and tech support, and how things work. And you get all of this, all of the nuggets that I throw onto these Tuesday videos, probably, and then some. I actually probably need to fine tooth comb that presentation, as I need to do with a lot of things. And make sure that that's prepared. So if you are a company, a small business that is like, oh, we're getting lots of clients asking about accessibility all of a sudden, or seems to be a thing, we should really educate ourselves, then contact me and I can educate you on things you might want to know when you have blind clients and blind customers, or customers who have varying levels of vision loss. So I hope you found this to be helpful. Let me
AX freebie, zoom and move focus to next window. System image, you are used, stop share, you have stopped.
Perfect. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for all of the things. If you have questions, you can leave them in the comments, and I will answer your questions in a Wednesday video. And if you want to contact me, sewcoaching@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram. It's Saradivinelyyou, SARA, and then Divinelyyou, all one word. You can find me there. And I think that's it. Down below are all of the links to various PDFs, downloadables from my website. There's also my PayPal link if you would like to donate to the publication of my book. And all of that. Thank you so much for tuning in to both the podcast and my YouTube channel. I appreciate you and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Stop recording now.